You've written an AI prompt, AI gave you something perfectly okay and completely useless at the same time. What I mean is, technically, it answered your question, but it's so generic that every other person is talking the same language. It's not quite the tone you wanted, it didn't really understand the context, and now you're spending more time rewriting it than if you would have just written it yourself. Sounds familiar. I know, right? So here's what's happening. They are, it's not that you're bad at prompting, okay? It's that nobody explained what prompt actually needs to contain for AI to do something genuinely useful in it or with it. So, prompting is habit 2 from our past video where we spoke about the SCEC framework. Uh, and like all communication, it is a craft that anyone can learn. So, once you see the structure, I know you will not be able to unsee it. So just let me show you what that structure looks like for you to get good at prompting. Okay. So why prompt quality actually matters, and here's how to think about it. So here's a fun example that I like to give. Think about how when you ask your home chef to cook like a 5 course veg Chinese meal for you, you get a delicious meal with like manchow soup to start with, then spring roll as an appetizer, hakka noodles, Manchurian for mains, and maybe yummy mango sago for dessert. Now imagine you tell them cook anything nice or anything will do. The chef has no idea what to do with that. What's nice? Nice for you or nice for them? Nice for a regular evening or for a special occasion? How many dishes? What does nice even mean? So they might take a guess and give you something reasonable, but it won't, like, they won't give you what you actually wanted because you didn't even tell them what you actually wanted. That's exactly the same thing with AI. The quality of what you get is directly tied to the quality of what you give. Not because AI is fuzzy, it just cannot read your mind. So it can only work with what you give it. And vague input, generic output, specific input, useful output. Every single time. So here are the 5 ingredients of a strong prompt. A strong prompt has all of it, but sometimes even 2 or 3 of it are enough. So knowing all 5 is really important, because then you know which ones to add and which ones to subtract when your quality of output is not great. Think of it like a recipe again. Like if you leave out the salt, the dish will feel flat. If you leave out some of the main ingredients, of course, it will turn out to be a disaster. So once you know what each element does, you'll know what's missing. So let's start with number 1, role. Ask yourself, who should AI be right now? Example, act as a senior copywriter with 10 years of experience in B2B SaaS marketing. Giving AI a role focuses it. Like, act as a senior copywriter gives you a very different output than just no role at all. So the role sets that lens, which lens to look at it from. And you can be creative also here, like act like a suspicious editor who leaves no punctuation, acts as a creative career coach talking to someone stuck in mid-career crisis. Basically, the role shapes the entire tone and approach for AI. Number 2, context. Ask yourself, what does AI need to know to do this well? I'm writing for a newsletter called Self-craft. My audience is mid-career professionals who are smart but feel overwhelmed by AI. The tone has to be warm, direct, and no jargons, please. Context is most commonly skipped ingredient, and it's the one that makes the biggest difference. Who is your audience? What is the situation? What's already been tried? What platform is it for? What does your brand sound like? All of this come under context, and AI doesn't know any of it unless you tell it. So every session starts fresh, and context is what bridges the gap between the generic answer and the one that actually fits your requirement. Number 3, task. Ask yourself, what exactly do you want it to do? Like, write 3 subject line options for an email about our new AI course launch, each under 8 words, and lead with emotion, not a question. The task is basically the most obvious ingredient. It's the thing you're asking for. But being specific here matters more than most people even realize. Like, write a subject line. That's the task. But write 3 subject line options, each under 8 words, lead with emotion rather than a question. That's a better ask. So, the more specific your task, the less AI has to just keep guessing about what you want. Number 4, format. Ask yourself, how do you want the output structured? Now, it could be like, give me a numbered list, keep each point to one sentence, and no intro paragraph, just the list. This one saves so much of rewriting, honestly. Like, if you want bullet points, just say so. If you want a paragraph, say that. If you want it short, give it a word count. Or if you don't want an intro that restates your question back at you, like which AI loves to do often, just say no preamble, just the output. Format tells AI how to package the answer. Without it, AI just picks some format that it thinks it's a good fit. And sometimes it's fine, but often you end up rewriting. Number 5, constraints. Ask yourself, what should it not do? Basically, avoid jargons, don't use the words leverage, synergy, empower, unlock. Don't make it sound like a corporate newsletter. Constraints are basically the secret weapon. Telling AI what to avoid is often more powerful than telling it what you want. Because things like buzzwords or jargons, or just saying, like, don't be preachy, don't open with a question, avoid anything that sounds like it came from a motivational poster, tell it everything that you don't want it to be. Constraints are where your taste gets that flavor, and it gets your flavor, and you stop AI from basically defaulting to the generic, blandest, safest output. So let me show you a before and after. Okay, so I gave the same request with and without the ingredients. So when I typed this into ChatGPT, write a LinkedIn post about AI for non-technical people, act as a warm, direct content writer who avoids jargon and hype. Here is a screenshot of the response it gave me. Super generic. You can pause and take a look at it. And now, when I typed this into ChatGPT, I run a YouTube channel called Self Craft with Komal for mid career professionals who feel overwhelmed by AI. Write a LinkedIn post, 150 words maximum, announcing a new free course on AI basics. Lead with a relatable moment of overwhelm, not a question. Avoid the words empower, game changer, leverage, and end with a soft CTA to the course link. Here is a snapshot of the response it gave me. Super specific. Pause and take a look. Same task, same AI tool, just one prompt written without the framework and the other written with it. You can clearly see the difference, and after this video, definitely try it yourself. So, Here's one question that would fix most weak prompts basically. You don't always have time to run through all five ingredients, right? So, which is why I have this one question which can fix your weak prompts. So, before you hit send after typing your request in the prompt or your prompt request, if I gave this prompt to a smart new person on my team with no context about my work, my audience, or whatever I'm trying to achieve, would they do a good job with it? If the answer is no, add context. That's that's just what is missing. That's almost always what's missing. That's one habit, the context check, which will improve your prompts way more than any framework or any of the 5 and 10 ingredients or any of the cheat sheets that are available out there, right? Just that one thing. Ask that one question to yourself before you hit enter on your prompt. And last thing, this one matters a lot. Prompting is not a one shot test. Okay, so you don't really have to get it perfect the first time. If the output isn't right, don't like start over, talk back. Tell AI what's wrong with it, what it gave you. It's too formal. It should feel like a conversation. The second point is a strong one. Lead with that, or cut this by half. No fluff, please. Basically, a back and forth is a part of this process. That's just what that's just what we've covered in a previous video under the collaboration mode. Like your best AI output usually comes from like third or fourth exchange, not the first one. So don't treat every prompt like it's the final one. Take it one at a time and have a conversation, and basically you're allowed to say that this is not what I wanted, let me put it differently, let me explain it better to you, and see where it goes, because that's how you will make it work for you. All right, so if you wanted a saved version of the 5 ingredient framework to keep it handy while you work, I've got a one free page, like one pager prompt guide in the description. You should check it out and download it for yourself. And of course, the link to the free full course on AI basics for non-tech professionals is in the description for easy access. Up next, we are stepping back from crafting of prompt and looking at the bigger picture. There are hundreds of AI tools out there and a new tool launching every week. The next video is about how to stop feeling overwhelmed by all of them and how to fit any tool into this simple map so that you don't feel overwhelmed again. So, see you there.